истинный в огне. Кто читает свои сны, поклоняюсь темноте.
My name is James, and my friend and I need to get this story out to people, because it was way too crazy for me to keep this in secret. This may not seem that scary, but this was pretty weird for what game I was playing. My friends and I would plan game nights after college let out and everyone was home. However, we didn't have a lot of money due to the high price of college, but this did not hinder our game nights. We had a tech head who knew how to pirate very well, and he would give us links to download the games. One night the four of us had plans on playing a game, but which game? Everyone wanted to play Black Ops 2 Zombies. I was pissed. I hate new Call of Duty games. However, I just dealt with it. After Zach, our tech head, linked us to the download, we all downloaded Hamachi and created the server. This is what you have to do with pirate games because you can't play online with them for whatever reason. After all was said and done, we booted the game that we just downloaded. Everything worked fine. However, we did have a problem with our call for a few seconds. When Zach went to create the server, he said that there was only 2 out of the 4 zombie maps available, and they were not the original maps either. Chris said to just pick one. I thought they must have been custom maps added by a fan before he uploaded the game to the bay, but it didn't matter all too much to me. We all joined and the countdown began. My friend John went to tap out of the game real quick to check progress on a download. He then said, "Huh? What the fuck?" Chris asked him what was wrong and John said he couldn't back out of the game. The game began and the map loaded. We spawned, but the weird thing was we didn't spawn anywhere close to each other, it seemed. I didn't know the map, so I couldn't tell. Chris started screaming. "This map is creepy," he yelled out to us. I didn't know what he meant. I spawned in a place where it looked like a farm. There was a big red barn and a green tractor outside. The sky was dark and there was a huge bright moon in the sky. There were hills all around me, so the only place I could go into was the big red barn in the center of the map. It wasn't all too creepy, so I didn't know what Chris was talking about. I asked Chris what he meant by what he said, but I didn't get a response from him. I then went to tab out to see if I was still connected to the Skype call. The game didn't close out, so I couldn't see my desktop or other programs running, just the game. Confused, I went to type into the game's chat. I asked if I was still connected to the Skype call, and Zach responded, "I don't know, I can't hear anything." John typed next and asked why the round change countdown hasn't began. I just noticed we were still in round 1 and I haven't seen a single zombie within the first 3 minutes. Chris typed a message. "I haven't seen a single zombie, however, there is something here. Stay alert." I typed back, "What was so scary a few minutes ago?" He typed back, "I spawned in a room filled with creepy dolls hanging on meat hooks. And now I hear a little girl talking." I thought that sounded pretty creative. I entered the barn. There were a few cows eating hay, a horse, and a few chickens. I saw nothing else besides a few windows which I could barricade, so I did. I looked at the score and noticed John had 3,500 points. I typed, "Damn John, you must have found some zombies." He then typed back, "No." A few minutes had passed and then Zach typed, "Then how do you have so many points?" I looked at the chat feed for a second and saw nothing. Chris typed, "Guys, is there a little girl following you?" I looked up very slowly at the second floor and saw something move. Zach typed, "Yeah, I saw her." I typed, "I saw something." I walked up the stairs and there was a small music box. I pressed X to interact and Tank Dempsey remarked, "What the fuck?" And I was transported to a different part of the map. What I saw next was a room full of dolls on meat hooks. I was excited and creeped out because I remembered Chris saying he was there. I typed, "Chris, I'm in the room with the dolls." Chris typed, "Get the hell out of there." I didn't know what he meant. This place is creepy, but I haven't seen anything that was scary. I looked at the windows in the room. They were barricaded, so I assumed it was his doing. There was a door near a dark body sitting in a chair. I walked over to the body and pressed X to interact with it. As you would guess, nothing happened. I went to turn and heard a disembodied voice call out saying, "Have you seen my little girl?" I turned to face the body and it was gone. I was kind of freaked out. I typed and asked Chris about this body. He typed back and said, "I told you to get out of there. You should have just walked out the door." I asked him, "What should I do?" and he typed back, "Okay, get the hell out of there and get." He didn't finish his message. I left through the door while I heard what I thought it was Maxis screaming, "Where is my daughter?" I was sprinting through a straight hallway with dolls just sitting on the ground staring at me. I also kept hearing a little girl laughing. I ran through a door and everything stopped, and the door also locked behind me. I didn't know what had happened, and I didn't realize the flooding of the chat feed. I didn't know what was happening with anyone. All of us were split up and experienced different things. All except John. I haven't seen any feed from him. It was just Zach and Chris talking about the experience they are facing. I took notice of John's points. He had 90,000. I interrupted the chat feed with, "Guys, look at John's point score." And he hasn't said anything the entire game except for the beginning. "Who's he playing as?" asked Zach. "I am Tank," I typed. Chris said he was Nikolai and Zach was Takio. That left John as Richtofen. I hadn't thought of this until now, but those characters weren't even in any Black Ops 2 zombie maps. I looked around at my surroundings and took notice of the mystery box. I thought it would help if I got a weapon from the box to trade out my starter pistol. I pressed X and heard the demonic announcer say, "No dice," and the box dissipated. Just like that, I was dumbfounded. Then I noticed, the voice was Richtofen. He sounded like he did when he was the demonic announcer in the map Moon. I typed, "Richtofen is the demonic announcer." Zach responded, "I heard, are we in the same area?" I looked down a hallway across the room and I saw Takio wandering around. I typed, "Zach, I see you in the hallway." He typed back, "I am at a red barn now." I walked up to Takio and he gave me an option to press X, so I did. I heard Richtofen say, "Fooled you," and a mob of dolls began to sprint at me from the beginning at the hallway screaming, "Have you seen my daughter?" in high-pitched voices. I ran as fast as I could, but I was swallowed by the mob and went down. Chris then typed, "I'm down also," about a minute later. I typed back, "Me as well." None of us could help each other. We were in random places. Zach typed, "I found a music box and it warped me into a room with dolls." He then came to my position and picked me up. I was shocked. I typed, "Thank you." He said no problem. We made it down to an opening and left the building we were in. The sky pattern was the same as the one at the barn. I looked behind me and Zach was gone. I typed, "Zach, where'd you go?" No response. I then heard Richtofen say, "I didn't say you could bring friends with you." Zach's points went to 3,500 even though he had 5,000. I saw a tunnel and went through it. I saw that Chris had finally died and his points went to 3,500. I typed, "Chris, are you here?" No response. Richtofen then said, "You're the last one here. Good luck." I felt even more alone than I did before. I couldn't leave the game. I called my friends and they had all disconnected from the game. John said he was kicked around 10 minutes into the game. I ended up turning off my computer in fear. after hanging out with Chris. I looked into the whole daughter thing. The only thing I could find is that there are two characters in zombies named Ludwig Maxis and his daughter Samantha Maxis. Perhaps that has something to do with the whole "where's my daughter" question. As for the score resetting to 3500 once a player leaves, I couldn't explain that. Who knows, I might play it again someday just to discover the facts, as I'm pretty sure I skimmed the surface of this mystery. So when you guys are looking for custom maps or a pirated version of Black Ops 2, be careful, because you just might find something pretty creepy.